Excuse me, can you have attention please? You can go out and comfortably speak and then get back. Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to see a full house for Read and Grow, and I'm sure if a Golden Jubilee occasion, and it has to be like this actually, it's a celebration. I really thank each one of you for making it to this evening, and all the viewers watching this program live. As usual, if you have any questions, there's a QR code there. Send all your questions, and I request you to ask more questions, not only relevant to the topic which is being discussed today. Also ask about Golden Jubilee movement actually. How the 4 years, this particular series of Read and Grow, which we introduced, and 4 years it has gone through without a break, a month. Every month we have hosted this event. So you should ask questions. Three outstanding facilitators, they are here. They are going to be taking part in today's discussion. Before that, let me briefly tell you what's happening in MMA so that you don't miss them. On 22nd of, on Monday, 20th, before that, we have 14th Cabin Care MMA Chinni Krishnan Innovation Award, where it's one of the outstanding event of MMA. It's happening at IIT Research Park Auditorium. Mr. Dinesh, Executive Chairman of TVS, is going to be the chief guest, and I think those who are registered, we already sent the confirmation. If you're not registered, you can leave your name with our team here, Palani or Hari. Hari is, let me introduce, Deputy General Manager. He just joined us yesterday, and he'll be come in the place of Satish. He'll be working with us at MMA. So please give your name to him or any of your MMA team. They'll register and send the confirmation. But I really tell you, it's one of the finest events. Don't miss it. If you not able to make it, watch it live. Then on 22nd, we are doing online masterclass on DPPDA, that is Data Protection Act. It's going to be launched in next 2-3 days' time. It's a very serious issue. Not many of you realize the importance and the seriousness of this act. If you are going to be in trouble, you are going to be in deep trouble if you don't do the Data Protection Act, whatever is being put in the act. Otherwise, you compromise it, I think it's going to be there. So we are doing a one-day, full-day conclave on 27th. To make the people really understand, as a prelude to the conclave, we are doing an evening session for 1 hour on 22nd via Zoom to make the people understand what is the Data Protection Act means and why you should attend this conclave. What does it, where are checks and balances which are required, so that you, when you attend the conclave and you take part in discussion, you will feel at ease and you will have a basic fundamental thing about Data Protection Act. So if you are keen, and it's only 100 people, the Zoom, and you have got, tell your name, tell your number, with again, you can leave your name and number with our team. They will take care. 26 September, we have again event from Vision to Ventures happening at Chalam chapter. 27th, we have again event Data Trust Imperative, which I mentioned to you just now. It's a full day conclave. It's a paid program, but do come. It's a small little amount we charge for MMA members, including GST, some 1,000 rupees actually. We have taken to defrost only a few cost of what we do. Then 27th, again, we have an event on productivity. It's happening at Foundryman. Then 26th of October, again a brilliant event, launch and discussion on the book Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things. We got Mr. Krishnan Mahalingam, former CF of TCS, Lakshmi Narayanan, former chairman Cognizant, Ravi Usunathan, present MD of TVS Logistics, Rajini Sheshadri, former Cognizant and TCS, Vinod Krishnan is MD and CEO of TVS Next, and Vaidhi Subramaniam is a chancellor of Sastra University. This is happening, and 9th again, it's a very brilliant event. This for family businesses. It's MMA, we are doing jointly with GLIM, is creating entrepreneurial families. Today, in every entrepreneurial family, in family businesses, there is a lot of vacuum, and the father starts the business, son is not signing, first generation, second generation, third generation, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of issues, a lot of psyche get impacted. Why this? Because 70% of Indian family businesses are on family businesses. If this is not taken care of the right woman, it's going to be a serious issue, and the succession planning is not done. And we are going to discuss everything, and we got 3 outstanding speakers. CK has kindly agreed to come and speak. CK Ranganathan, Chairman Cabin Man, MD of Cabin Care. We also invited Gopal Sreenivassan. He has also agreed, but we got confirmation behind that. We have number of other speakers. Samir Mehta is from Mehta Hospital, TT Srinath, Sangeeta Shankaran. Yash, some outstanding speakers there. This is what is happening on 15th of October. Again, we have a next season of Read and Grow. Sreenivassan Ramaprasad will be chairing this session, and along with Thirumalai and Jay Kumar. Then 23rd October, Again, not to be missed event. I think all our events are like that, but this event is one of the outstanding. If you are to attend this event, you'll pay more than 1 lakh to participate actually. He's coming and doing it for free to us because we are investing a lot of money. This is and the strategizer. I think Mr. Mali knows. Alex is coming to speak to us. He is from strategizer. I'm telling them about how important this event, strategizer, where Alex is one of the finest thing and he is the one who launched this program. Come and listen to him. He's one of the finest person in the world. He's coming from USA to join us. This is happening. Then on 27th of October is our management student convention. Sorry, I'll take a little more time today because Golden Jubilee, you get carried away. Now, today is a milestone moment for us. This read and grow, we strongly believe if you have to be a great leader, you have to be a great reader. And there are 3 people who made this possible for the last 4 years, month after month after month, selecting some outstanding event. And you have on the screen, can I have the book of all the 49 episodes? You can see the number of episodes. I think they around a big lot of applause for the team which has put together. The last 4 years, the 49 months, these are the events which I think. And we also shared this with you with the link. All that you have to click on the book, you can watch the entire episode and read the article. Now, what it makes you master this 49 books, I can tell you will be a great, outstanding leader in whatever you want to do, you'll be there. And this I must place on record this time is the 3 outstanding people. Babu Krishnamoorthy, Chief Sherpa of Finsherpa Investments, Sangeeta Shankaran Sumesh is the gain enabler, and also Sreenivassan Ramaprasad, Director CADD Centre and Training Services. They are the one who selected month after month the books and got the people to join them as one of the co-speakers along with them, discuss in thread. But you watch through this program, what is given here, I can tell you it's a really a thing. And I'm happy for the milestone Golden Jubilee. This is the 50th episode we are doing. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause to our distinguished panel for this evening. Babu, Ramaprasad, and Sangeeta, to please take your place on the dais. Go. Thank you. Before we move forward, we want to do a small change. Every time we give the memento at the end of the thing, but today is commemorate the 50th occasion. We want to make a special memento for the distinguished panel this evening. I now request Mali to come onto the stage, do the honor of presenting the memento to the 3 distinguished panelists. Venkat, you also can join me. If any of the committee members are available, they can join us. You have planted 3 on your house. Thank you, Mali. Yeah. This is a momentous special for the occasion because it's got a QR code. They can scan the QR code and see the tree growing, which is planted on their behalf as a sustainability. Once again, very, very warm round of applause to the distinguished panel for this evening. Before I hand over the thing, can I have the AV of all the distinguished speakers for this evening, please? May I have the AV, please?
Director on corporate boards with 30 years of corporate experience, Dr. Sangeeta is a chartered and management accountant, Harvard alumna, and doctorate holder from the Swiss School of Business and Management. A credentialed PCC coach, TEDx and global speaker, Dr. Sangeeta is also the best-selling author of What the Finance, Get High, and Where's the Mullah. Mr. Sreenivassan Ramaprasad, Director at CADD Centre Training Services, is a BITS Pilani graduate and certified NLP practitioner with over 3 decades of experience. Mr. Sreenivassan was instrumental in making CADD Centre a national brand, building its equipment business from 0 to 50 crores rupees and leading teams of 225 executives. Founder of Samarthya, Mr. Srinivasan focuses on enabling people and businesses to grow and is an active Rotarian and President of the Professional Speakers Association of India, Chennai chapter. Mr. Babu Krishnamoorthy, founder and chief Sherpa at Finsherpa Investments Pvt Ltd, leads a boutique wealth management firm serving HNI clients in India and abroad. A chartered accountant with over 25 years of expertise, Mr. Babu has co-founded Pelican Wealth and worked with Allegro Capital. Author of the best-selling Unlock Secrets to a Wealthy Life, he is a passionate thought leader and speaker on investments and personal finance. A past president of IFA Galaxy, Mr. Babu actively supports industry growth and contributes to social initiatives through the Rotary Club of Madras East.
That's a panel for this evening. They have been doing it last 49
months and I really urge upon you, do come and attend. And the book what you've chosen today, the 1 Minute Entrepreneurs, brilliant book, and it couldn't be a better one to choose the time what we are undergoing, the agility, the speed, which decision to be taken, sustainability. I think we are going to be discussing quite a lot about you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, warm welcome to each one of you on the Golden Jubilee event of Lead and Grow. And I think it's your support what made us to sustain the last 50 months, month after month. And we look forward to your continued support so that we bring you some outstanding events and you get inspired, you become a great leader. I think that's what India needs. Over to you.
Thank you, Group Captain Vijay Kumar. Always, we have to take a breath after Vijay Kumar stops speaking. His energy is boundless. Good evening, friends, and thank you so much for being here in large numbers to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Read and Grow, as Captain Vijay Kumar mentioned in his talk. Our deep belief is that readers are leaders. Leaders aren't people very different from you and me. They are people with the same faculties, except that they invest time to imbibe a certain amount of thought process. And that thought process, in our opinion, comes out of reading books and enhancing one's knowledge. So we are delighted, and I'm speaking on behalf of my co-panelists, Sangeeta, as well as Ramaprasad, that we have been fortunate to kind of do this journey of 50 months covering a wide variety of topics, which we believe have helped each of us. You know, there's a selfish motive, especially for me. Over the last 16 months, I have had to read a book in detail, which means that because I'm playing this role, it kind of bodies on me to kind of make sure I invest time to read it. And therefore, hopefully I'm a little smarter today than I was 16 books ago. So, and my true belief is that 50 books is equivalent to doing an MBA course, my friend. And I believe if you were able to read these 50 books, you would have as much knowledge, if not more, than what an MBA college would be able to impart to you. So that's the power of books. That's the power of learning. With that, I'm going to straight dive. I have 2 parts today. The first part is a serious discussion. In fact, all 3 of us, when we discussed, we said, we shouldn't just talk about our journey. This also should be to discuss a book, because at the end of the day, we believe that's the hero of this program is actually the book. We are just, kind of the co-actors, and so to say. So the book is an important part. So we are going to discuss the book. And maybe after we discuss the book, we'll also delve into the past journey and have a little bit of a reminiscence of how this journey of 50 months has been. So with no more ado, I'm just going to step right in. Ken Blanchard is not a new name. He has been around for the past 2.5, 3 decades now. The 1 Minute Manager is the seminal book that, I mean, most of the people would have read at some point in time in the past or not. He is a thought leader. He's a speaker. He runs his Ken Blanchard Institute, as they do in the West. You write a book, you'll also start an institute along with that. So they are very, very institutional in that sense. So he's done a lot of this. This particular book, I owe it to you to understand why we thought of this book. And in fact, it's Ramaprasad who recommended this book that we cover, since all three of us are going to be there. Because each of us specialize professionally in one area. Ramaprasad specializes in sales training. That's his kind of passion and magic that he brings to fore. Sangeeta brings leadership and coaching as her kind of superpower. And I bring investing and cash flows and money as what I bring to the table. So we wanted to cover a book that had all elements of these three, and no better book than this. To give you a quick brief, a very, very easy book to read for people who are daunted by big books. I don't want to read books. This is the book you should. All of 130 pages, right? It looks thin, it is thin, big. And because the title is A 1 Minute Entrepreneur, all aspects of the book are given quite briefly. And that's the magic of this book. It's a small book, easily readable, no jargon at all. I'm guessing that if you're a 10-year-old person who's studying in school, you will be able to read the book without having to refer to a dictionary. So the language is exceptionally simple. And what I found most interesting of this is that this book doesn't give you theory and philosophy and gyan like most other books do. This is a book which is written in the form of a story or a parable. It starts with a student of college called, I don't know how to pronounce this, Jude, who gets caught in an incident, and from there his life journey moves on. He starts working for a company, he gets married, he has children, and the whole journey of how he kind of runs his business is seen from the story of his life, right up to him retiring. In fact, the last page is when he and his wife are taking care of their grandchildren. So the book really covers it from a story perspective. So it doesn't seem like you're reading a very technical book, but there is a ton of insights that one can gain. So I do think this is a very valuable book, especially for people who are starting newly, who want to get into the business, run businesses, be entrepreneurs. I think this book is a fantastic business, but I'm going to stop here. I have two very valuable guests here, and I'm going to move over to Sangeeta here and get her initial thoughts on the book.
So for me, what I felt is, I mean, three things stand out to me about the book. And all these three, depending, they say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So these 3 points, it really depends on how people can perceive it. The first thing, I think, like the name suggests, it's a 1-minute entrepreneur. And it's really good for people who are just getting started off in their entrepreneurial journey. So if you're somebody who's, contemplating, and, many times we are caught with this, the grass is greener on the other side. And you want to try your hands on entrepreneurship, I think it's a great book. It gives you, tells you how to go about different aspects, the different challenges, and so on and so forth. So that aspect is great. But again, if you're a very seasoned entrepreneur, you're like wondering, no, I know all of this. So that's why I said it's a double-edged sword. Of course, the book already, in the cover, it says 101. So I think that way it is good. The second thing is, it's absolutely simple. Like you said, anybody can easily read it and understand. It's a very quick read. So while it's a good and a positive thing, if you're looking for something a little more in depth, it may not satisfy that. And personally, I did like a lot of aspects, but I just felt like from an author like Ken Blanchard, I was probably looking for more, but then I also realized that it is 101. So, and like they say, uh, keep it simple, stupid, right? KISS. So I say, keep it simple and significant. So that way, the significance part of it has come out pretty well in the book. That's something that I really like. So, yeah, basically, it is this. It is really good for the first time entrepreneur. It's very simple and easy to understand. And it's really simple and significant. It's very, very useful for somebody who wants to get their hands dirty and get started on their journey. It gives them a good overview on what are the things they need to watch out for. So I think those wisdom nuggets have come out really well. And yeah, even the story is like so short, like, but that's again, it's a pro and a con of the book. Like, it's nice that it's short, but then if you're looking for some meat to the story, that aspect is probably lacking. So it depends on how you want to look at it. But the nicest part is it's really you can finish it over a flight, or so that kind of a feel and aspect I really liked about it. Yeah, thanks to you, Ram.
Thank you. Thank you, Sangeeta.
All right. Thanks, Babu, for stating that I recommended the book. Okay. Good evening, all. Good to see a full hall. I'm really happy about it. It's the right way to celebrate the 50th episode. My question to all of you, how many of you read actually? People who read, can they raise their hands? Okay.
Of course, yeah. We
Not-
read and
not
write.
many- not
we,
many
we read and
really-
write, Ram.
Yeah.
We read and write.
Right. Not many read for the simple reason that reading has shifted to seeing and watching and hearing. It's so easy to watch a video and learn, or hear somebody say something and learn. Reading has become a slightly difficult task for this generation. Am I right in that? Yes? Okay. So this book really helps those people who are finding it difficult to read, because it's like a story. Okay. It's the story of somebody who passes out of a college. So many of the students, like, who are aspiring to be an entrepreneur, they really can start off. It starts off like a story of a person, Jude. The best part about the book was it starts with my favorite skill, selling. So he goes and attends a national sales conference. And one more thing which was exciting was he meets the first speaker, was the first ever president of National Speakers Association. Okay. National Speakers Association is the people who promote professional speaking world over. And we, as a part of Professional Speakers of Association of India, I think it was quite exciting to see that he met the first president of NSA. That was exciting. Then I could quickly relate to the book because of the sales. Like, selling is not an easy task. People normally avoid being in selling. Why? Because you get rejected more often than you succeed. Okay, so how often can you handle rejection compared to success? So that really stuck a chord with me on that. And it is like a story, and all those chapters, at the end of the story, you have a 1 minute insight, which is easy to understand. Okay, so if you want to succeed in your life, first make others succeed. Those kind of points, or yeah, it was very, very striking, where you can relate to it, and it also reinforces. So my key takeaways of the book, which I thought is easily relatable to everyone. Success is built on character as much as strategy. So your character is very, very important. It's not just the strategy. Building relationships and trust is as important as building products. Okay, so it's a relationship, and trust is equally important. It's not that if you have a great product, it's going to automatically be bought by people. You need to build trust and relationship. Mentors. are very important in life. In fact, many of us miss on that most of the times. Like, you don't have a mentor or a coach who can really guide you, because we all believe that we know everything. Till somebody like mentor comes and say what you don't know, So mentorship has been given a great importance in this book, which was a sort of eye opener for me. And be ethical. Always keep in mind that you're doing business for the good of others, and ethics is very important. And focus on impact rather than income. Impact is equally important compared to the income from the business. These are the 5 things which really struck chord with me. Apart from the fact that the book was quite easy to read and you enjoy, and when he meets his partner in life, that was very interesting. So the life partner in your life is very, very, they're going to play a very important part in your business journey also. So that is something which came out in this book, which again was a eye opener for me. So at the end of the book, I felt good about choosing this book and reading this book, and probably a fitting book for the 50th anniversary celebration. That's my view. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramaprasad. I'm just going to move over to the second part, get to a more meatier side, get a little bit more down inside the book and look at some things that resonate with each of us in our daily life, right? And for me, and I'm going to take your point as well. What are 1 or 2 aspects of the book when you read it, you could sit back and say, hey, yeah, I wish I'd read this book 20 years ago, 30 years ago, right? And for me, there were 1 or 2 things I think I had that aha moment when I read this book, although it's a very simple book. But as Ramaprasad said, when I finished the book and kept it, I could not but admire Jude, because every point in time when he feels that he's unsure or unclear, he reaches out to a mentor, right? And I think that's a thing that I have yet to master in a great way. Although I have been an entrepreneur for a fairly long time, and all of us are entrepreneurs. Somewhere as an entrepreneur, we always think that people should always see us smiling, and people should see us without any problems. We are people who have no problems at all in life, right? So we never disclose our pain. We always show our better side outside, although it's not the truth. Many a times, all of us have issues, all of us have problems, all of us need help. But nobody before this book made it so plain and simple that asking for help is an easy process. And Jude, through the book, at various points in time, illustrates that whenever he needs help, whenever he is unsure, whenever there is a problem, he goes to his mentor, he reaches out to his mentor and asks for help. And I think if I were to give one very significant takeaway for me out of this book that I learned, and what I could have done better in the last 20 years, is say asking for help is an important trait. Being vulnerable and understanding that we don't have all the answers. Just because you run the business or you're CEO of a company, you don't have all the answers. You're just as somebody else, except that you have the right, you have the ability, you have the knowledge to seek out help. And that part of it, I think, is very, very powerful. I think that's come out beautifully in the book. I wish, the younger people who are in this audience really take that as one takeaway. Second takeaway for me is that every time there is a problem, Jude kind of is told or is instructed that continue to put your head down and do your work. Things will work out, right? And I think it's a very important trait. Many a times we overthink the problem, right? Yes, not all the time will be great. There will be times when business is difficult, external environments are going to be bad, but you just have to put your head down and continue to work hard, and things will flow over. The bad weather will fly over at some point in time, and you'll be back to business. And that is a significant point. Far too many of us overthink before taking action. We constantly think about how this can manifest itself, and we're always thinking the worst case scenario. Need not be. You just have to put your head down and continue to work, is one more significant learning that I had. And the third part is that every aspect of business is important. How you select your leader, your next leader, how you handle your cash flow. As a finance person, I think, in my mind at least, I always thought handling money and finance is the most important. And I'm sure Ramaprasad thinks sales is the most important as well. Yeah, so each of us thinks our area is the most important, but the book brings a very balanced approach that all the aspects of business resources, whether it's sales or people management or growth or strategy, all of it is important, and you need to dwell time and energy into it. And if need be, take external help. In fact, they have a concept called an advisory board where experts, so financially, there's a guy called Juan who comes in and advises on finance. There's a lady who comes and advises on HR. So different people. Idea is that if you want to grow your business and if you want to scale, you can do that quite easily by forming groups of people who you can seek help from. And those are very, very powerful things. I intend to use some of these in my own business now going forward after this book. But those are some of my thoughts, and I'd kind of ask Sangeeta what she
I would
has.
like to pick up from where you left, where you said how each person thinks their area of the business is most important. So in my book, Where's the Moolah? That's why I've spoken about the business wheel, saying how each function actually contributes to better profitability. So that was something that came out from what you said. I will share what really resonated well with me, in the book. One, as an independent director, one common thing that I have noticed in many boards is succession planning. So even in this story, there were ups and downs, like his partner left because she had to take care of the kids in the story. And then, there was a seat that was vacant. So unless you're planning for succession or, unless you're grooming your second line leaders, I think that becomes a big challenge to the business growth. So that's something businesses need to keep in mind. The second thing is, again, continuing with in the story, the guy who comes in as a replacement of his wife, who was somebody very, very aggressive and who was pushing Jude to grow further. Now, I was reminded, when I read the book, that particular chapter especially was resonated so much and reminded me so much about a client of mine with whom I was working. So this particular, the client of mine is a very successful corporate leader. He's from Bombay, and, during his childhood and growing up years, I think he grew up in the slums of Bombay or something. So he always had this drive and thirst to, do really well in his career and reach peaks. So he went on, he became a chartered accountant in the first shot, and maybe even a rank holder, I'm not sure. So he went on, career started to grow. He was putting in a lot of hard work and efforts, and he just kept growing and growing. Promotions after promotions. Then he got married. They had a baby. He got an excellent opportunity in the Middle East. So he left the wife and the child, in thirst of growing his career. And he was thriving in the Middle East as well. So when he came to me, I think he was in the C-suite, and that was still the case. The wife didn't want to leave India. She wanted to be with the parents and the in-laws and wanted the child to grow up here. So while his career was thriving, for him, he felt much later, like, I'm actually missing out on so many good aspects. I'm not there for my child, to see my child grow. His wife was sick for some time. He was like, I was not able to support her. I'm not, financially, while I'm supporting, emotionally, I'm not there for her. His parents were getting old. He was not there for the parents. So he started feeling a lot of this. So our coaching conversation actually revolved around the fact that while his career is growing, is he really successful in life? Because success to me, I always say, is like, what are you foregoing to achieve what you want? On one side, yes, career growth, your rewards, recognition, all that is great. But at what cost? Your health, your family. I mean, what are your priorities? It boils down to that. So that way, I think you need to look at it from a holistic picture on what you really want and how exactly are you prioritizing. So to each their own, because there's no standard formula for success. So the book reminded me of that actually, and it was uh, that part where Jude is like really pushing himself and then, not really caring so much for his family. That I really felt, which is very true. Most of us do that. We never realize it until somebody points it out. So the good aspect in the book was Jude actually corrects himself. So I think, and again, connecting to what you said, I think that's where a coach actually, plays the role. Somebody coaches a sounding board and asking you to think and reflect what exactly, what do you want to achieve, like. So, and a good reminder for most of us humans as well, because sometimes we are so blindly led by many aspects. In fact, I'm also just reminded of one other little thing. I think a couple of years back, we had our college reunion, a mini informal reunion. So about 15, 20 of us met. And, we were just sitting in a circle and each person was saying, what they are doing. So that time I was the CFO in Dun& Bradstreet. So I was saying, yeah, I'm a CFO. And each one was saying what they were. So there was one girl, she was working also. And then she was like, I'm working in this particular organization. Um, I'm due for a promotion as a manager or whatever, but I've been resisting this promotion and I don't want this promotion. So most of us were like quite taken aback, saying, why, if you're getting recognized, why wouldn't you want to take up the promotion? So what she said is really stood to me. She says, of course, it's good to get promoted, but it means more work, more responsibilities. And she says, why should I, slog myself so hard? I'm happy the way I am. I'm going to work to enjoy myself. And she had a very good set of colleagues. She's like, I enjoy with my colleagues. It gives me, time for myself. So why do I have to push myself overly and exert myself? I'm happy the way I am. I don't think I need to take up additional responsibilities and, keep pushing myself. For what? It's just for some extra money and recognition. And I'm not interested in that. So I was glad that, she had that insight about herself. So what exactly do you want in your career, in life? How do you want to grow? Which is more important? What are your priorities? Get that right is what I wanted to say. And the third and the last thing was on resilience. Because many times we all get bogged down by challenges, different challenges that come in our way. So how can you still keep going despite these challenges? So those were those things that really stood out for me.
Well, thank you, Sangeeta, for that, and Babu. So for me, as I told you, money comes from selling.
And now you're selling yourself and the book.
So it's not a debate, it's a statement. Okay. So only when the money comes, then you can manage it. And naturally, you all agree that it comes from selling. For me, I started my career as a production executive. I am from a technical, Birla Institute of Technology and Science, technology guy, started as a production executive. 1 year down the line, I realized I don't want to deal with parts and machines. Let me go and deal with people. So I moved to JK Tires, very well established company. And then I came to CADD Centre. People thought at CADD Centre I'll go and train on CAD, being a technical person, but I chose to sell CAD training. So that was my first job in CADD Centre. I joined in Bangalore, and that was the time where CAD was very new to the country. So I had two set of prospects. The first one was not using CAD. All the Indian companies were not using CAD. So when I went and met them, they said, we are not using CAD, so I don't need any training. Oh, okay. Thank you. Then the next set was multinationals who were using CAD and they were extremely familiar with CAD. So I go and ask them, okay, would you have any training requirement? They said, all our people are familiar with CAD. If you want, we can train your trainers. So that's how the career started. I was wondering, did I make the right move? Because sales, you need to produce results. You can't survive without producing results. So first month passed, no results. Second month passed, no results. So the third month was really, I was wondering whether I'll have my job by the end of the third month. That's the kind of pressure you'll have in sales. Whoever runs business, they will understand this. Then suddenly I get a call after 15 days from a company, a leading telecom company, who I had met about 2 months ago. They said, Ramaprasad, can you come over? We have decided to embrace CAD. Wow. That feeling was fantastic. But the message here is when you're in sales, you have to be absolutely patient. You have to face a lot of rejection. And then eventually, when the success comes, it's really, really great. And from that moment onwards, there was no turning back. So that started, and then we had one after the other. So that part I was able to, I was in almost Jude's position when it happened. One other thing which we practice in CAD Centre, or I completely resonated with this. My colleague always used to say, whatever you do, do the best. You should be the best version of it. Nee bathroom guide na kuda you should be the best bathroom cleaner. You know, under that kind of a profession, you need to give your best in it. That thought was right across the company, number one. And we gave respect to everyone. Doesn't matter what job they were doing. Respect people. I think giving respect is one of the best cultures you can have, and it's a lot of inclusivity. People, right from the person who makes coffee till the person who runs the company, they're all treated equally, and they all work for the business. Now, this particular culture, I don't know how we developed, but we did. So that was something which was fantastic, which we experienced. Then all the businesses are for profits. So we need to make profits to grow. But we also realize that it's not just the profit that matters. Many times in my journey, we helped customers beyond the call of duty or even compromising profit. So we believed that we are doing business to help people, make them grow. So the purpose was pretty much strong as much as the profits. So these three things really, I could quickly relate to it. And mentorship is something which we didn't go for external. We had internally, we had a mentor among ourselves. So who were helping us overcome our weaknesses. So these are some of the things where the book, I could almost travel with Jude till the time he got married to Terry, because my story was different after that. Okay, that's from my side.
Thank you, Ram, for making it so dramatic. But we have two parts. So I'm going to take a quick reaction from Ramaprasad and Sangeeta. Two quick thoughts and 60 seconds each. I'll start with you, Ramaprasad, now. What are your final thoughts on the book from a two perspective? One is, if you were to gift this book to somebody, who would you gift this book to? Okay, that's one. And second is that if you were Ken Blanchard and you were asked to rewrite this book, what are some of the things that you think you have missed in this book that you would kind of include, if you have anything?
Okay,
I'm just throwing a curveball at both of these people at this point in time in front of you. So
I was not prepared for this.
yeah, that's the idea.
Googly.
Okay, so if I were to gift this book, I would gift it to any college student, because one thing is, we all grow up with the mindset of getting employed, most of us, right? We need to change the mindset to employ. Instead of getting employed, employ people. You know, when you change that mindset, it's going to help you a lot, because as you employ people, you are anyway going to get employed, because you have to make sure that they get their month after month. So the students probably are the one.
There are lots of young students here, so this book is for you guys.
Students, genuinely, I give it to, because you start early. You start early and you can take the benefit of the book. Doesn't matter what business you're going to do, but have this mindset of employ others, work for, make others successful. I think that is one thing. So if you possibly, if I have to rewrite this book, I would add, okay, it is a story by itself, but within those concepts, I'll add more stories to reinforce those concepts. Like Sangeeta said, she felt like she went for a lunch and she got breakfast, you know. So we need that.
Then the pages will be more. It can't be 100 and 130 pages.
So it compromises the easiness of reading, but at the same time, you miss that chunk which you expect for each. The concepts are fantastic, but if it can be reinforced with the more stories, more content, I think that's what I will do.
Fantastic.
I would gift the book to a startup founder who was just getting started with business, especially I think somebody who's leaving a corporate world and then wants to get started. I think it gives very good insights on what are the different aspects they need to look into. So I would definitely give the book to somebody like that. And if I were the author and I was going to rewrite it in today's time, obviously on technology and AI. You know, what can businesses do by leveraging the power of tech is what something I would have included there.
Absolutely. So I think we need to give a big round of applause to both our panelists. I think it's been, so I'm going to pause here on this book's review, but I'm going to take a 10-minute, we have 10 more minutes to go for this session, but I'm going to retrace back a 50-month journey. And I'm going to ask all of them, and I'm also going to try and share some of the high and low points. And, you know, doing this month after month, of course, each of us does it once in 3 months. So it's not like every month we have to read a book and we have to bring things. But Sangeeta, we'll start with you. And read and grow. Did you imagine when you started out and agreed to this format and said, hey, looks exciting? 50 months later, is it as exciting? Or, yeah, I thought, but you know, some of those aspects are more difficult than I imagined it to be. What's your reaction at the end of 50 months?
So firstly, I don't think I thought so long term. I was just going with the flow in the present moment. So in fact, when group captain told us that this is the 50th, I was quite excited because I was like, oh yeah, is it like, you know, so many months have rolled off past. So that was my initial reaction. So, I mean, to me, it seems like yesterday because, you know, I just started, like my first book was, I think, $1 Trillion Coach. And even now I keep recommending that book to everybody. I mean, it's a fantastic book. So to me, it seems like, hey, I just read this book now. And like, yeah, so fast the time has gone by. So definitely, yes. I didn't think, or like I said, I don't think I even looked how far it'll go or whatever. So I was just going with the flow. And it has been a very exciting and interesting journey. So I know initially group captain said, you know, can you do it every month? So I was like, no, I don't have the bandwidth to do it every month. And I said, it'll be good to do it if I get my turn every quarter. And that's why I roped in both of you. So thanks to both of you for that. Otherwise, I would have been in a soup doing it month after month. So I think now this is a good balance that it's spread out between the three of us and each of us take turns and to do it. So even people get a variety and, you know, the flavor of different thoughts and perspectives. So I think, yeah, that way it's been an amazing journey. And now when I look back and reflect after like now it's what, 4 years. So it really feels good and makes us richer knowledge wise. And it also has given me the discipline to ensure that I'm, reading, and I'm thinking like, okay, what should be the next book? Who should be a good speaker who can contribute in this particular topic? So it's made me think that way, and definitely, like they say, think and grow. So yeah, it has been a beautiful journey. So thanks to MMA and Group Captain Vijay Kumar and Group Captain Venkatraman for this amazing program and relentlessly supporting us month on month and organizing this. You should give them a big round of applause. Thank you.
Yeah, first I should thank Sangeeta for roping me in. I was not there from day one, but I got in thanks to my predecessor. So I was just asking them, how come you chose me? And thanks for choosing me. And thanks to MMA. For me, the journey has been extremely rewarding for the simple reason I was not a great reader to start with. So I started reading, which means it is per se I need to read. So it was every book, when I look at it, it was so enriching. I learned from each and every book, and even today I'm applying many of the concepts in my training as well as life practices. Just to give an example, a book, Influence, Art of Influence. There are 7 principles by which we get influence. Now, I'm using all these principles on a daily basis and also in my training program. So it was highly enriching for me. I'm looking forward to the 100th episode. Okay. So it's as exciting as the first one, everyone. Yeah. The challenge, however, is to find the people who could review the book. Okay. Initially, it was very easy. I had the list, tuck, you call them, and then you get into the zone where, hey, who to call next? Whether they'll be interesting to, come and review. Are they readers? Those kind of doubts started creeping in. And many times you need to fix a date and the panelists should be available on that date. And you are, till that program happens, you're not sure. But thankfully, because of the experience you had over the last 3 years, which I never realized, I'm able to identify the book and the panelists relevant. In fact, my next month, we are going to review a technology book, and one of my panelists is already here. So we have another panelist. So I'm okay for October. Then I need to worry about only January. So that space is very, very comfortable. It also allows me to choose the right book, which audience can also resonate with and learn from it. One of the things. And many times I found that the panelists themselves, after reading the book, they said, hey, I never knew this kind of things. I got enriched. Like Mr. A.S. Venkatesh of Popular Foundation, 5 the myths of dysfunctional team, 5 minutes. After reading that, I never knew these things. In fact, these things exist in my team now. So he corrected. So last time when we're doing this multipliers, Soumya Mahadevan said, I exactly could relate to the book and I derived so much from the book and they could apply it in their day-to-day life in the business. So basically, the Read and Grow has not only helped me as a moderator, but helped all the panelists modify their approach towards their business after reading. I think that's a great service by MMA. I think once again, I want you to applaud for this enrichment.
On that note, I think
Sorry, I was just reminded of one other thing. This has like a multiple ripple effect. Because what I do, some of these very good leadership books and all that, like, I summarize the book. So I give the summary to my clients, who are wanting to become better leaders or grow from a particular perspective. So that summary is really helping all of them. They feel, and especially people who are a little lazy to read, or the ones who are curious to know, what is in this book and is it really going to help. So when I share the video links that are there on the YouTube, that really seems to help people benefit, a lot. And even from the panelists. So different perspectives is helping people to grow. Even if they're not here physically, the good aspect is that they're able to catch it online. So I think that's again a phenomenal job by MMA.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramaprasad. Thank you, Sangeeta. But I just want to bring the spotlight on one more component of Read and Grow, which is the panelist. Incidentally, in today, the panelists, all three of us are usually the people who are organizing this on a month, but generally we have external panelists who are leaders in their own field. And it's very difficult for a person to kind of, in midst of their busy schedule, take the book that we have decided, spend probably a month investing time reading, taking insights, and then spend an evening at MMA, giving their thoughts about the book through their life journey. And that's the beauty part. So anybody can read the book verbatim, but to give you the essence of that book through my life journey is unique. It's not available anywhere else. So we have a few of those panelists here. Can I request all of those panelists to please stand in your respective place? Somu, Arun, Ramesh, and Shrikant. Please give it up for these gentlemen. Thank you so much. You are like the pearls in the larger chain. Thank you so much. Please be seated. Uh, Without panelists, this program will be less interesting because each one brings their own unique insights to this whole play. A lot of work goes behind. So typically, just to give you a quick summary, I get a tingle somewhere in the middle of a business meeting on a working day. That's by Group Captain Venkatraman saying that, what's the next book? Who are the panelists, right? Suddenly the meeting goes blank for me. And then my mind starts racing about what should be, have I thought about the book? What have I done? And incidentally, I'm sure it happens for me, but it also maybe happens for them. Anytime in the last, from between this meeting and the next meeting, whenever I'm going through an airport, I will move into the airport and take photographs of books. That can potentially be the book that I can cover in the next Read and Grow, right? So a lot of this unconsciously you do. You take a moment, you're just walking on the aisle, there's a bookshop on the right. I'll just walk through inside the bookshop and then walk out after I've taken 2-3 photographs of books, which I may then review. So when he calls, I'll pull out those photographs, read all those things and say, which book do you want to go? Simultaneously start going through my LinkedIn list and find out who are the people who I have not yet attacked so far, determine my next victim, so on. So then they have to start reading. We then form a group. We discussed amongst ourselves. So a fair bit of planning goes before we come here and do a show. So it is a reasonable amount of work, and I'm so thankful to first MMA for ideating this concept and bringing us and giving us this platform to share. Second is for all the panelists who have spared time to read this book and kind of give their outcomes. And of course, most important is that the people who are here and who are watching this online, unless there is an audience and who's kind of very curious to learn through this medium, it becomes very, very monotonous for people. There's got to be a purpose for everything, right? And the purpose why we do this is because it has to enrich things. While I'm at it, I just want to kind of point out, it's a very interesting concept that all the books that has been covered so far is available in the MMA website. This is on the website. So I'm just going to quickly go to one of the books that I've done. That's The Atomic Habit. If you can click on that, so this is available. You can go there. You can see any of these episodes, The Atomic Habits, or any book for that matter. If you click on that book, it opens out into the video of that day. Right? You can watch any of these episodes. The Inner Game is what think so. Yeah. So Sangeeta's book. So on each of these episodes. So there is no more an excuse that says, no, I wasn't there. I was traveling. I had an important business meeting. You can see this anytime. This is available to you. Now it's all put in one place. So whenever you have time, do click on it. You can catch up on episodes. The true benefit is to read the book. I still tell you, the true benefit is to read the book. And I, for one, believe that especially to the younger generation, is that between reading a book, and watching a movie, reading is the more creative one. The Jude that I read, the Jude that I imagined in my mind, the haircut he would have, the way he will walk is very different from the Jude that she imagined, is very different from the Jude that he imagined. We are reading the same character as written by the author, but each of us has a different image of that Jude. When you watch a video, you are watching the director's impression of that. There is no more creativity. Your mind doesn't connect the dots. You don't have any more creativity that comes out. So my humble ask of the younger generation, I know the older people will read books, they are used to it. The younger generation must get into the habit of reading books because it inculcates the ability for you to think creatively. Every character in your mind, you will think about that character in a different way. And that's a very, very important part of creative learning and as a whole. So, like I said, so reading is very, very important part of nurturing your intellect and growing your leadership skills. With that, I'm going to pause at this point in time. And if there are questions in the audience or on the internet, oh, okay, it's already come. Okay. In a world where startup success often seems to be built on long, grueling hours, how can 1 minute entrepreneurial philosophy be practically applied to build a sustainable and scalable business? Sangeeta, you want?
Okay, sure. That's a very nice question. So what I would say is it gives you insights into the different aspects that one needs to look in, right? It can be from a sales perspective, from your leadership, from your team building, from a financial perspective. So it gives you insights into what are the aspects that you need to look into. It also gives you, tells you that, working with a coach, a mentor, and how you grow in your career. So all these aspects are covered. But since the question specifically says how to scale on a sustained manner, it doesn't specifically talk about scaling, but the hidden message there is once you focus on all these areas, your business is bound to grow. So that's the underlying message.
Sangeeta. The second question is from Rajesh. The book highlights the importance of learning from mentors. What is your personal approach to finding and working with mentors, Ramaprasad?
Okay, as I told you, while we were in the business of, say, at a level of about 25, 30 crores, we wanted to grow the business to 50. We engaged a coach for all of us. The coach or a mentor plays a very vital role in identifying the blind spots in you. Typically, like I earlier told you, we all believe that we know everything or we know most of it. So we also do not want to expose to others that we don't know something. So that's where the mentors and coach really step in. They are mirrors, basically, the mirrors who will show your blind spot and make sure that your weaknesses are mended and strengths are strengthened further. I think that's the role we experienced during the mentorship we had, and it's a continuous process. In fact, learning is a continuous process, and mentors enable you learn continuously. I think that's the mentors also are accountability partner. You're accountable for what you're responsible for, so you cannot take responsibility and leave it away. So the mentors really help you to be more accountable. They are the mirrors for you, and they help you identify your weaknesses and correct it and strengthen your strengths.
Thank you.
Just a little mention I would like to do here. One of my mentors is past president of MMA, Mr. Balraman. So I've been very thankful and grateful to him for being my mentor. Especially he mentored me to become an independent director, and it was an amazing journey, and the insights that he shared with me. I think I met him in 2013 or 2014. Yeah. And it has been amazing. And, that was when I realized the importance of having mentors. So I just thought I'll call out and express my gratitude to Mr. Balraman.
Thank you, Sangeeta. On that note of gratitude, I want to thank my sales mentor and coach, Mr. Ramaprasad. We take it for granted, like Ramaprasad said earlier, that sales is something very easy, but it's not. there's so many aspects to it. And I'm so grateful to Ramaprasad for spending time in helping me understand the nuances and kind of helping me scale my capabilities in that space. Thank you, Ramaprasad.
On a lighter note, I'm showing the mirror and Babu's looking away.
We keep it out. Yeah. So the next question, 1 minute entrepreneur emphasizes clarity of purpose. How can aspiring leaders practically identify their true purpose before starting a business or taking a leadership role? Any of you all want to take that?
You want me? So in all my programs, I insist on this particular aspect called purpose. Typically, any business today is solving a problem of somebody. It's not just business is meant to make money, but you are solving some problem. Are we communicating that clearly? I think that's the purpose. So just to give you an example, I'm closely training one of the leading car dealerships. So what's the purpose of a car dealership? What's the purpose of a car salesman? Is it just to sell cars? Okay, that's the outcome. But the real purpose is to sell status, respect, and happiness for families. Okay, but do we think like that? Does the business think like that? Or they simply think like I'm selling cars? So that's the difference the purpose brings in. When you think about purpose, so in CADD Centre, we don't say we train on CADD. We say we enable engineers' livelihood. We enable engineers' livelihood by making them more employable. That's the purpose of our business. How? By training. So Samarthya, my purpose is to enlighten, enable, and empower people. So if somebody asks me, what do you do? I don't say I train, coach, and mentor. I say I enable, enlighten, enable, and empower people. That's my purpose. So once you become empowered, my problem is solved. Anyway, you're going to pay for me. Yeah. I hope it answers.
Absolutely. Brilliant. How could you describe the read and grow journey in just 3 words? What would they be? I'd say, in my mind, read, think, and grow. Instead of that and, I'd actually add think. And I'm using this word think very consciously because I don't know if many of us reserve a certain amount of our day to just think. Every moment of the day gets occupied with something. We are either scrolling the mobile or watching TV or whatever it is. If we can devote a particular time just to think, I think we are reading, it's all there in the mind. If we can think a bit and then apply it in our work, we will grow. So that's what I would say about read and grow. Each one. Yeah. What do you want? 3 words.
Enlightenment, enablement, and empowerment.
Your own mantra.
Then I'll also go with my mantra. Purpose, performance, and profits.
Right. How has read and grow influenced your reading habit? Do you read differently or more deeply? Murugan, I don't read anything very differently, more deeply. Sometimes I read in a very rushed manner because, the date is coming due. Sometimes I read it with a lot of passion. It's like very human stuff for me, at least. But have you become a better reader? Have you become
I think I concur with what you said, but yeah, I do read a little more deeply because I like to summarize the book, the essence of the book. So I'm a little more conscious and a little more mindful when I'm reading because I want to see which are the important nuggets that I want to share with people. So that way my mind is tuned that way when I'm doing a read and grow versus a normal book that I'm reading.
So my passion for reading has improved.
Good. Fabulous. If you were to repeat just one episode from the past, which should be, we don't want to repeat any episode. I think the book is already there. Our idea is to inspire you to actually read the book. I just want to state the purpose. Read and Grow hopes to inspire you to actually pick up this book and read. by watching this episode, we don't think you will get all the nuggets of the book, right? So that's not the purpose. So we don't want to repeat anything. I hope.
Okay, without my knowledge, I repeated one book, but it was fantastic. Like the perspectives were different. And its title of the book is Emotional Intelligence. So you have two emotional intelligence here.
Okay, that's a first. Book talks about seize the movement theory. What is the ultimate significance of this, Vivekananda?
I think it's to live in the present moment. So the present moment is inevitable, right? So how can you make the best of things right now? I think that is what is most important.
Is entrepreneurship for everyone? How does one decide entrepreneurship is right for them? So my view is that entrepreneurship is like Jude in this book feels. It's a little bit like falling in love, right? You know you want to do something on your own, and it has to come from within. Is my thought process. If you feel the urge to, do something on your own, then you are an entrepreneur. Jude feels that way very early in his life. Many of us felt it that way. That's why we became. But any other
Yeah,
thoughts?
I want to say that, if you think the business that you want to solve, can solve a problem for something, I think that can be a very great start. Because, how is the business that you want to solve, how is it adding value? How is it making lives easier? How is it solving a pain point, or is it that it's going to give your customers some sort of a pleasure if you're in the entertainment industry, for example? So if you can just think on those lines, I think that will give you more insights on what you want to do, why you want to do, and how you can actually grow and scale it. Just thought of
Actually,
that.
it's finding an opportunity. The person who can find an opportunity and willing to take a risk. The bigger part is willing to take a risk, because you need to give your comfort and come and do the needful.
There's a question here. Babu, the book emphasizes quick yet meaningful decisions. How do you balance speed with financial prudence in entrepreneurship? Very good question, very topical question in the context of today, when anybody runs, especially a startup business, it no longer, the book incidentally is a little different from the reality of today, right? The book talks about uh, cash, which is needed. So at various points in time, the book talks about sales having to exceed costs, and that's how the book is being kind of written. I think that was relevant about 20 years ago. Today, if you go to the startup world, it's no longer a matter, right? Most of the startup companies that have hit the stock market or out there, they're all loss making. Their sales are smaller than their expenses. So they are burning capital as we speak now. So we live in a very different era to what the book is. But I would still say financial prudence is a non-negotiable part of running any successful business. And it's financial prudence is like blood flowing through your body. And if it stops, you're dead, right? It's a heart attack. So the business can also suffer from similar heart attacks. So as promoter or as the entrepreneur, you need to be careful about how you manage your financial prudence, as I would say. Can one of you, that's to one of you, do a SWOT analysis of oneself by reading this book? MK Satish. What do you,
The SWOT analysis of the book, or
of themselves? Yeah, exactly. So can you compare and contrast and
it is probably about the business, not about me as an individual, is what I
know
would
how
want to say.
you're doing that business?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. So SWOT, basically, what you're asking is whether will I be able to identify my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats by reading this book? Not fully, but to some
You
extent,
could,
yes.
yeah, you could evaluate on each of the parameters stated in the book and then
Yeah.
see what you're doing well and what you can improve.
Like it says, be the best you can. Like I don't know how best you are. So if you're not like that, so that's not my strength. Or you can actually derive out of it. Whether it gives a framework for that, no. Answer is
It
no.
doesn't give a framework.
No
It doesn't give a
framework, no
natural
frameworks.
framework for this. But yeah. So with that, I think we come to the
One thing. By the way, we not only read, we also write. Okay, so he's an author. She's an author. She's writing a fifth book. I think Babu, how many books have you written?
One.
Okay, we are only beginners. So this is my book on sales. Be a celebrity. Okay, so I specifically coined it as celebrity because all of us want to be a celebrity at some point of time, right? By selling, right? I think with that, I'll hand it over to.
Great. We are also authors. You can buy the training book on management, authored by MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause to the distinguished panelists. And what I want to emphasize is, you've seen the amount of effort taken by each one of them. It's not easy that, every third month you come and speak. Every time when you go to the airport, click pictures, ask friends, which is a book. And we have got a rule. The book has to be a top selling book from not Indian authored book, Indian book, because most of our members write books actually. Everybody wanted to be discussed here. So we don't want to embarrass. If we take one, we have to take everybody. So what we have taken as a policy by them, decided by them, we'll take one international best-selling author. So it solved my problem and we are able to get some outstanding books. And I now request you to give them a standing ovation because they've done some outstanding work for the last 4 years. Not easy. They've not missed a single episode. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's really, really appreciate your. And yes, we look forward to seeing you the 100th episode, and that will be a still larger scale and great. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us this evening. It's another milestone moment for each one of you, and many more milestone moments are happening in MMA. Do come and think. I think we'll get inspired. You come and join all the events. That's what we want you to do. Till we meet again. Bye bye. Good night, and get back home safely. Yeah, we have got over 800 viewers watching this program. Thanks a lot. Large number.